Picture this, because if you've ever tried to do the right thing with money, you've lived some version of this. You're 26, you're proud, you don't borrow, you don't owe. You hear people talk about debt like it's normal, and you say, not me. So you do the safe thing, you use a debit card, you save cash. You pay everything up front, you avoid credit cards because you've seen what they do to people. And for a while, it feels clean, no interest, no stress, no monthly payment monster. Then real life taps you on the shoulder. You go to rent an apartment. The landlord smiles until they see your application. Do you have a credit score? You say, I don't have debt. They say, that's not what I asked. And suddenly, you're not being priced like a responsible adult. You're being priced like a question mark. They ask for a bigger deposit. They want first month, last month, and just in case money. They want a cosigner. You apply for car insurance. The quote is higher than your friend's, and you have fewer tickets than him. You try to finance a reliable car because you finally want to stop buying cheap clunkers that break every 6 months. The dealership runs your file and says, we can approve you, but the rate is brutal. And you're staring at the number thinking, how am I being punished? For being careful? That's the moment people finally realize the game they've been playing isn't personal finance. It's access. It's pricing. It's an invisible scoring system that decides how expensive your life is going to be before you even make a choice. And today we're going to talk about the credit score scam, not the credit score is fake kind of scam. The real scam. The scam where playing it safe makes you poorer. Because the credit system doesn't reward people who are good with money. It rewards people who are good customers. And there's a difference. My name is Sam Invest, and I spend way too much time studying the hidden mechanics of money, the stuff nobody explains in school, the stuff that decides whether you get charged a small fee or a lifetime of premiums. And if you've ever felt like you're doing everything right but still paying more than everyone around you, you're not crazy. You're just seeing the machine. Now, quick thing before we go deeper. This video is education, not personal financial advice. Credit rules vary by country, lender, and scoring model. But the incentives, the logic of the machine, is shockingly similar everywhere. All right, let's expose it. Because most people think a credit score is a moral score. Like the system is looking at you and saying, this person is responsible. This person is reckless. No, a credit score is not a character score. It's a borrower performance score. It's a prediction machine. And prediction machines need one thing from you. Data, not virtue, not discipline, not I'm a good person. They don't care that you're honest. They care that you're predictable. Let me say that again, because this is the first key. A credit score does not measure how good you are with money. It measures how profitable and predictable you are as a borrower. That's the scam. Because if you play it safe by avoiding debt, you often create the worst possible profile in the system. A thin file, a blank file, a we don't know you file. And in finance, uncertainty is expensive. When the lender doesn't know you, they don't reward you for being careful. They charge you for being unknown. That's the first trap. Unknown person penalty. There are two kinds of people who get punished in the credit world. People who have bad credit because they missed payments. People who have no credit because they avoided the game. And the second one shocks people because it feels unfair. I did the responsible thing. Yes, you did the responsible thing in the real world. But in the credit world, you did the invisible thing. And invisible people don't get the best prices. So you get hit with what I call the uncertainty premium, and it shows up everywhere. Higher deposits, higher interest rates, fewer approvals, prove-it paperwork, co-signers, limited options. This is the part that makes people bitter, because it feels like a moral violation. I'm being punished for not borrowing. And yes, in many systems, you are, because the scoring machine is not built to reward cash. It's built to reward borrowing behavior that doesn't blow up. Now, here's where most gurus mess up. They'll tell you, Just get a credit card. And they say it like that solves everything. But they never explain what the credit score is actually doing. So let's break it down like a mechanic, not a motivational speaker. A credit score is built on a handful of signals that basically answer these questions. Do you pay on time? Do you use credit but not panic use it? Have you done this consistently for a long time? Are you applying for new credit like you're drowning? Are you overextended? Notice what's missing. Savings, income, discipline. Your score can rise while your finances are a mess if you look like a steady borrower. That's why playing it safe can make you poorer, because you can be financially healthy and still get priced like a risk. Now let's make this real. The check engine light credit edition. Same stomach drop, different trigger. You get a letter in the mail. Your application requires additional review. It's not a denial. It's worse. It's the slow death. You need a car this week. You need it to get to work. Work is how you survive. But because your rate is high, your payment is higher. So you buy the cheaper car because that's what you can afford monthly. And 2 months later, it breaks. Now you need repairs. You miss shifts. You fall behind. And because you fall behind, your credit gets worse. And because your credit gets worse, everything gets more expensive. That is the credit score trap in high definition. The system raises your costs when you can least afford higher costs. And then people wonder why poverty feels sticky. It's not just bad habits. It's math. Which brings us to something that explains this better than half the finance industry. The Boots theory, but with credit, Boots theory says poor people pay more because they can't buy the durable option. Credit score is Boots theory for your entire life. Because credit isn't just borrowing. Credit is pricing. A high score gives you access to the durable Boots version of life. Low interest loans, flexible approvals, cheaper insurance, lower deposits, better housing options, less friction. A low score or no score forces you into the cheap, fragile, expensive version. Predatory rates, junk fees, buy here, pay here, economics, higher deposits, worse terms, more time waste. You don't just pay more money, you pay more stress, you pay more time, you pay more penalties. And here's the punchline. The credit score system tells you it's measuring responsibility, but it's really measuring how safely can we extract profit from you. Now, before people freak out, yes, credit has legitimate purpose. Lenders need to price risk. But the scam is the framing. They sell it to you like it's a clean scoreboard for adulthood. It's not. It's a pricing engine. And once you see it as a pricing engine, you stop treating it like a self-worth score. You treat it like a tool. But first, we have to expose the second trap, and this is the one that quietly makes careful people poorer.